What if I told you that certain diseases have claimed more lives than the deadliest wars in history? Imagine a world where unseen enemies lurk, taking down populations, causing fear and chaos. These are not figures of our imagination, but real threats that have shaped our history. We're talking about the 10 deadliest diseases that have ever struck humanity. Bubonic plague, smallpox, Spanish flu, HIV/AIDS, cholera, malaria, tuberculosis, yellow fever, typhus, and Ebola virus. Join us as we travel back in time to uncover the stories of these deadly diseases. Our journey begins in the 14th century with the bubonic plague, also known as the Black Death. This deadly disease originated in Asia, and via trade routes, it quickly spread to Europe, leaving devastation in its wake. Its symptoms were gruesome: high fever, chills, and the formation of painful, swollen lymph nodes called buboes, giving the disease its name. The bubonic plague was not just a health crisis, it was a catastrophe that changed the course of humanity. It led to significant social, economic, and religious upheavals, altering the landscape of the medieval world. It is estimated that the Black Death killed between 75 and 200 million people, a number that is almost incomprehensible. The plague's impact did not stop there. It continued to flare up intermittently for centuries, leaving a lasting imprint on human history. The Black Death, a disease so deadly it wiped out nearly 60% of Europe's population. Fast forward to the era of smallpox, cholera, and malaria. Smallpox, a disease that dates back to the time of the ancient Egyptians, was a relentless killer. Its symptoms were gruesome: high fever, fatigue, and the development of a rash that turned into pus-filled sores. It's estimated that smallpox claimed the lives of over 300 million people in the 20th century alone, leaving an indelible mark on humanity. Its eradication in the late 70s stands as a testament to the power of global health initiatives and vaccination. Next, we delve into the realm of cholera. This waterborne illness first surged in the early 19th century, causing severe diarrhea, vomiting, and dehydration. Originating from the Ganges Delta in India, cholera spread across the globe, reaching pandemic proportions and leading to millions of deaths. It exposed the dire need for improved sanitation and clean water, driving advancements in public health that we benefit from today. Finally, we turn our gaze to malaria. This mosquito-borne disease has been a constant companion to humans, with references to its symptoms found in ancient Chinese and Greek texts. Malaria's hallmark high fever, chills, and flu-like symptoms have been responsible for countless deaths. In the year 2015 alone, it claimed over 400,000 lives, primarily in sub-Saharan Africa. The ongoing battle against malaria has shaped much of modern medicine, spurring advancements in diagnostics and treatments. These diseases, though varied, all shared one common trait: their deadly nature. Each one, in its time, ravaged populations, altered societies, and left a lasting impact on human history. Their stories are not just tales of suffering and death, but also of human resilience and scientific advancement. They remind us how far we have come and how far we still have to go in the realm of health and medicine. These diseases, though varied, all shared one common trait: their deadly nature. Now, we venture into the 20th century with the Spanish flu, tuberculosis, and yellow fever. The Spanish flu, or the influenza pandemic of 1918, was a potent strain of H1N1 influenza. It originated from an unknown source, sweeping across the globe in the wake of the First World War. Symptoms were brutal, with victims suffering from high fevers, aches, and in severe cases, fluid-filled lungs. The Spanish flu was a silent reaper, claiming between 20 and 50 million lives, more than the war itself. The sheer magnitude of this pandemic underscored the necessity of global health cooperation, leading to the creation of the World Health Organization. Next, we turn to tuberculosis, an ancient malady that still resonates today. This bacterial infection, known colloquially as TB, primarily affects the lungs. Its symptoms include a persistent cough, weakness, and weight loss. During the 20th century, It was responsible for the deaths of nearly 100 million people worldwide. This staggering figure prompted the development of the Bacillus calmette-guerin, or BCG vaccine, a crucial weapon in our ongoing battle against TB. Lastly, we delve into yellow fever, a viral disease transmitted by mosquitoes. Its origins trace back to Africa, but it soon spread to the Americas during the slave trade. Symptoms range from fever and nausea to jaundice, which gives the disease its name. Throughout history, yellow fever epidemics have claimed millions of lives. The disease was particularly devastating in the Americas, causing numerous deaths during the construction of the Panama Canal. The terror of yellow fever spurred the development of the first effective human vaccine in the early 1930s, forever changing the landscape of preventative medicine. These diseases marked a turning point in our fight against pathogens, leading to significant advancements in medicine. Lastly, we arrive at the most recent and ongoing battles: HIV/AIDS, typhus, and the Ebola virus. First, let's tackle HIV/AIDS. Originating in the early 20th century, the human immunodeficiency virus, or HIV, and the subsequent acquired immune deficiency syndrome, or AIDS, have become a global pandemic. This viral disease stealthily attacks the immune system, leading to severe illness and often death. With an estimated 32 million lives lost since its discovery, HIV/AIDS remains a concern, despite significant strides in treatment and prevention. Next up, typhus. Not to be confused with typhoid, typhus is a group of bacterial diseases transmitted by lice, fleas, or mites. Symptoms include fever, headache, and rash. Originating in the Middle Ages, it has caused multiple epidemics, with a death toll reaching into the millions. Although largely controlled in the modern world, outbreaks still occur in areas with poor sanitation. Finally, the Ebola virus. First identified in 1976 near the Ebola River in Congo, this deadly virus causes severe fever, vomiting, and internal bleeding. Despite its relatively recent emergence, it has claimed thousands of lives, with the 2014 to 2016 outbreak in West Africa marking the most severe episode to date. Despite the challenges, humanity continues to fight back, transforming these deadly diseases into stories of resilience and hope.